Here comes a new day. Time for a new rant. Hey, everybody, Mntdewmania here. Welcome back to RedNeck Rants, Season 6. Happy holidays. I'm stuffed from ham. Sorry you are seeing this a day late. I was in a ham coma yesterday. Probably everybody was in a turkey coma. We don't do turkey, we do ham. But the holiday does reflect on my rant for the day. If you're keeping up with me, I sincerely hope you are. You know we're on the letter U. And if you visited your local dictionary lately, you know there's not that many U's out there. But I have one I think you're going to enjoy. It is a legit rant, but it's not my rant per se. I understand why it gets ranted about. It didn't used to be mine. I think it is now. But this one comes from my past. It's something my mother used to say. And you know how it is when there's a big holiday, big meal, family sits around, you start telling stories. And we got to talking over Thanksgiving about um, sayings, like family sayings, not like just, sayings that everybody knows. Just family traditions, family, you know, little quirky things that family, and I'm sure you have them too. You probably have sayings in your family that is unique to your family. It's not like a state thing or a city thing or a country thing. It's a family thing. And there was one that came up, and this worked out so perfectly because, of course, I needed a U. This comes from my mother, who sadly has been gone for several years, and she had a pet peeve about a lot of things that got on her nerves. And she always had these little sayings uh, to, we knew what they were. And one of her biggest ones was if I would, she would tell me to do something or say something to me, and I had to answer her. And after I did, yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am, and then I would mutter under my breath. And she hated it. And she called it, U is for utter mutters. There's a good one for you. Utter, uttering, speaking, okay, and muttering, muttering. My mom called, everybody knows what muttering is. You just kind of, you mutter under your breath. My mom called them utter mutters. And it drove her crazy because her thing was, if you speak clearly, honestly. I've told you about lying. That was there would be pain involved in my backside if I lied at my house. And my mother, and I can do it too. You can ask my kids. She could tell instantly when I was lying, instantly. And fortunately, that got passed down to me in some way or form because I can do it with my kids. I know instantly when my kids are lying. Ask your mom. The moms have that thing, but I mean, I can tell when anybody is lying. I can do it. And so I never could lie to my mother. I knew what kind of trouble I would get into, but I had a bad habit of just muttering under my breath. Because you didn't talk back. There's none of this like it is now. Disrespectful. No, no, no. That would get you backhanded in my house. And I mean literally across the room. A whole different age, okay, that I grew up in. Not saying it's right. That doesn't excuse it. I'm just saying it was a different time. You did not speak disrespectfully. And if you did, there were consequences. Okay? So one of the things that I would do is I'd mutter under my breath. And my mom would be like, "Did you just hand me an utter mutter?" That I was like, "No, ma'am." All right. And then she'd go back to doing whatever she was doing. I'm telling you. What was that? Nothing, Mama. Are you sure? Yes, ma'am. And it wasn't just me. She hated anybody to do it and would call people out on it. And I am talking, it didn't matter who it was. She hated utter mutters. And I mean, I am talking like people in stores, like cashiers or somebody help, because it was disrespectful. People wouldn't mutter under their breath if it wasn't, you know. And she had, I don't know if you guys have ever seen them, way back in the '60s, the horn rim glasses. And when they got pushed down her nose and she looked over the top of them, you talking about swallowing hard and hoping that you were out of her glare. And utter mutters was one thing that would trigger that. And it didn't, like I said, it didn't matter who it was. She hated it. She hated it. And the other day, shopping for Thanksgiving, had to get a few last minute things. There was a woman standing in front of me in line, and everybody has that frantic, oh my God, I can't stand to be here 5 more seconds look on their face this time of year. Please, God, just let me get my stuff and go home without killing somebody in this store. That look. And her son was standing behind her, and of course he looked maybe about 10 years old. I don't know, somewhere around there. And you can't tell me that a kid is going to stay quiet in a line, even a short line. But this line was long. People were getting impatient, and you got to just keep your calm. You've got to. And this mom was just, you could tell she was having a bad day. She was harassed, and, she just wanted to go home and get her stuff done. And the son said something smart, and I mean, she turned around and she's like, "What did you say?" "Nothing, Mom." And then when she turned back around to face the front, the kid started muttering under his breath. And I remember thinking to myself, oh man, she gonna get on him for that utter mutter. And that's what made me think of it. And I understand getting bored in line, and we do it, young or old, we do it. We are just, that's the sign of the time. We are just impatient with anything that isn't fast and movable in our lives nowadays. And I got to chuckling to myself, and the mom looked back at me, and I was like, "Your son muttering under his breath just made me think of something funny, And she kind of rolled her eyes at me, and whatever. But when we got home and it was Thanksgiving time, and it got to, I told my daughter something, being sarcastic, and she kind of rolled her eyes at me, and she muttered something. And I was like, "Did you just hand me an utter mutter?" And she looked at me like I was crazy. And so that's where that comes from. But I'm finding as I get older that it really does. I don't know if it ever did. I'm one of those people that I just tune people out if they ignore me, or if they, just tick me off. I can just turn them off in my head. They can talk all day and I won't hear them. But I'm beginning to find as I get older, even more so, that I hate utter mutters, and now that I remember this, I'm thinking I wish I hadn't done it so much to my mom because it is irritating. And I really felt for that mom because she was just trying, she's trying to keep her cool. And I want to get, I need to get stuff done. I'm going home. It's been a bad day. And, this kid just muttering at me. You could just see it in her face, and I felt sorry for her, but it made me laugh too. And it was funny. It was just one of those chuckle moments, and it brought back now looking back, it's a good memory because I remember my mom always telling me, and my dad too. It First of all, it's disrespectful, to just utter mutter like that. If you have something to say, you just need to come out and say it. Don't irritate. I mean, just be honest and upfront with people. And I think I've always tried to teach that to my kids. People might not want to hear it, but at least you are known for being upfront and totally honest and straightforward with people, and that's a good thing, you know. And as the sun goes down, I just wanted to introduce you to a little family um, idioism, I guess, or just a little quirky thing. So, U is for utter muttering, and uh, try that out. And next time one of your kids or somebody mutters under the breath, ask them, "Did you just hand me an utter mutter?" So there you go, guys. And I hope you enjoy. We're winding down season 6. And sorry this is a day late, like everybody else. I was in a food coma, so that's why you're seeing it late. But here it is. And I hope you enjoy. And let me know in the comments below: are you guilty of handing someone utter mutters? And I'll catch you guys next time. It's Mntdewmania, RedNeck Rants, season 6. I'm so out of here. Later, guys.